Loud
Is
and
it
clear
clear?
po.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Can I make a request? Can you like show your video? I just want to see like who are in the training or like session today para I get to see your beautiful faces naman. Yan. Hello po. Good afternoon. So we have Ma'am Mumar, right? Mumar, Sheena, and Karen, right? Okay, all right. So yeah. Okay, are you guys okay with spending like over an hour? Medyo napahaba yata yung presentation ko, but if not, I'm just gonna cut it off. So are we good, or would you like me to just like shrink everything in an hour? Yan. Pa-comment na lang po on the sa chat so I could like see everybody's comment there. Okay, all right. So let's start, shall we? Uh, okay. Technical difficult. Am I sharing my screen na? I am. Wait lang po ah. For some reason, hindi ko makita yung preferences tab ko. Fritz, can you help me out? Can you grab the host ulit?
Sure.
I guess I'm no longer sharing my video now. Am I still sharing? Fritz?
Ayan, I will stop it po. If you want, you can share the link po sa akin, then I can share the screen. Kung gusto niya po. Your
It's
presentation
okay.
po. Okay.
Medyo na-lost lang ako for a moment there.
It's okay. Ayan.
Hindi makita yung you are what I am sharing. Kita niyo ba yung Canva ko or yung big screen?
Canva po.
Oh, setup ko na to kanina eh. Alam ko bakit lang naglolo ka siya. Okay. Can you see the other screen?
Kasi yung ano
Yes.
po, let me take you back. Ayan. Ayan, wala na po.
Why is it doing this to me?
Okay lang po yan. Kaya niyo po yan.
Wait.
Ganito po talaga sa online. Sa live.
Inayos ko na nga siya kanina eh. Sabi ko para wala nang magulo eh. Sorry guys, I'm gonna log back in, okay? Mag-leave muna ako sandin. I'm gonna log back in, I'm sorry.
Gusto kong magtago sa camera kasi bigatin yung mga nasa level 4 eh. Tiyak kabilang dito. Ayan. May
Okay lang yan,
ginagawa si
Prince.
TL Karen. May work po
Okay
kayo
lang
ngayon?
yan. Hindi, okay lang yan. Keep showing up.
Nag-assist nga rin ako sa level 3, hindi ko maintindihan mga dinidiscuss nila doon.
Sayang nga na na-late ko nabasa yung ano mo. Yung message.
Watch niyo po yung replay, maganda rin siya. How to hire the right people naman. Pag na-up na yung replays.
Oo, maganda yan.
Wait na lang natin si Miss Tish. Ang baka balik.
Ganun talaga pag live. May mga aberya.
Imposibleng wala eh. Meron nga talaga po ano.
Pero yung mga recordings naman natin, available naman siya, no? Hindi naman siya aalisin sa site, no?
Hindi po. Nasa ano po siya, research library po.
Oo.
All levels and sessions naman po. Yan lang, di ko sure kung sa huli ba eh, may ano, may date na aalisin. Pero up naman po siya sa lahat. Open
Hindi,
naman din siya sa lahat.
maganda kasi nagbi-binge watching ako minsan. Ay, anak ko. Napanood ko yung kay Nicel nung nakaraan. Okay yung kay Nicel.
Opo, maganda din po. Naghang daw ang laptop to. Wait po natin ano. Sit back and relax muna po kayo dyan. Baka may
Oo,
work pa kayo. Work muna.
work.
Okay po. Ayan, unmute na lang po kayo po.
Naka-mute po. Naka-mute. Naka-mute po. Walang sound.
Sige. Okay, wait. I tried to unmute you, pero for some reason, I don't know why. Ayaw mo. Press to unmute. Ayaw. I think, ayaw po niya Ayan. Miss Tish, ayaw po niya mapindot ang i-unmute ko po kayo. Try to rejoin po kung okay lang po sa end niyo po.
That guys, Fritz, I sent you a link. Can you check if you can access it and maybe you can just share the view na lang?
Okay.
I think that would be better. Okay. Lang. You will need to click as I go. Is that all right? Okay. All right, Fritz, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need your help here. So you could just click on the pages as I go. I'm really sorry about this. I'm sorry, guys. We already spent like 30 minutes for technical difficulties. I'm just not sure why things are not working for me right now. But yeah, okay, let's start. Again, let me introduce myself. My name is Tish Pasag. I'm also known as Ali in the freelancing world. I've been in the freelancing business since 2003. And I started my agency in 2009, but unfortunately in 2019, before the pandemic hit, I decided to close out my business and to live in Pasag, Camarines Sur, because we bought a property in there, a beach property in there. And my daughter has asthma. So as we all know, COVID is like really bad for people with upper respiratory problems. So we needed to go there and just, start all over again to becoming a certified OBM and then business consultant. Okay, now the topic for today is analyzing business processes, loopholes, and setting up your freelance business for success. So without further ado, I wanted to share with you the CSSG framework that I have. This is the framework that I'm using for everything in my business. Fritz, can you click on the third slide, please, for the CSSG framework? There you go. So the CSSG framework, this is the framework that I'm using when I am dealing with my OBM clients and at the same time when I'm dealing with my own business. So what does the CSSG framework means? Next slide, please. CSSG framework means clarity, strategy, systems, and growth. So in this framework, this is designed to aid you in flourishing your business by helping you gain clarity, master your craft, know the best strategies that you need to use, create your systems, and picture out and achieve your business growth through the art of delegation. So as I've heard from Fritz, you guys are in the level 4 of this training, and some of you may have 2 or more clients already, or some of you may already have agencies. So can you please just raise your hand or comment if you already have your own agency, or like how many clients do you have right now? Okay, all right. Okay, let me see. So, wow, 64 clients. That's great. 6 active clients here. You have 25 clients, 4 clients. All right. 25 clients local. And you guys are focused on what is the niche? What is the target market that you guys have right now? What are you serving? Filipino businesses, SMEs? Are you also serving freelancers or clients in the US? SMEs local. Okay, all right. So let's start with clarity. Now, next slide, please. Okay, so clarity. This is the part of the framework where you need to be clear who you will serve, what do they want and need, how you will give it to them, and what you need to suffice their needs. Now, if you guys are familiar with the client avatar, sinong familiar dito with the client avatar? Yeah, guys, since kakaunti naman kayo, I don't mind having this an open mic conversation. I think that would be easier. Kasi 5 lang naman kayo, so hindi naman kayo masyadong magka-clash. Can you just open your mic and, joining in this training? Not familiar with the client avatar. Okay, client avatar is like you picturing who your ideal client is. So sino ba yung ideal client ko? Kasi you don't want to be someone who's gonna be serving everybody, right? There needs to be something like, this is the target market, this is the niche that I wanted to serve, right? And these are the kind of people who I want to serve. So let me ask you, like for example, si Ma'am Mumar. Ma'am, so you have how many? Like 65, 64 clients,
64
right?
clients.
Yeah. Out of those 64 clients, I'm sure there are clients na red flag, right? It may be clients in the past, or it may be current clients that you have. And you're like, if only I could have 10 more of this client versus this one client here, right? There's
Right.
this specific characteristic of this client that you wanted to serve. And that is where a specific characteristic would be your client avatar. So say for example, si client A. Ito yung client A na laging on time magbayad ng invoices. ito yung laging nagbibigay ng, what you call this, ng requirements right away. If I ask for something, they would give it right away. You'd be able to like see, na okay, so since this is the client that I would really love to work with, right? I could create an avatar, like a description of this client. Para when I look for another client, this is the guide that I will be using, right? Parang, okay, so ito yung gusto ko. So meron ka mga red flags. This time, when you hire a client, it's not like the client is hiring you. Ikaw mag-pre-qualify sa client mo. So pag nakita mo, okay, ito lang yung mga qualities na gusto ko for a client. Kasi this client will not give me headache. Ito yung hindi magiging stress. And you're gonna focus your attention, you're gonna manifest to attract this kind of clients. Okay? So in the clarity framework, what you will need to do is to know who that client is. And when you focus on that client, you would also think of the niche. Ano ba yung market nitong client na gusto ko? Ito bang client na to, may SME ba to? Restaurant owners ba to? I prefer to work with agency owners. Okay, I prefer to work with six-figure freelancers. So meron kang specific categories of the people that you want to work with. Now, when you do your strategies, when you do your marketing, you can now focus in attracting those people na nasa client avatar mo. And then you can freely reject the other ones or put them like, set them aside, yung mga hindi pasok sa client avatar mo. Okay? So in the clarity part of the framework, this is where you would need to be clear. Sino ba yung gusto kong katrabaho? Ano ba yung kailangan nila? Ano yung usual na problema nila when it comes to accounting, when it comes to bookkeeping, when it comes to their business, finances? Ano yung kailangan nila? And then, paano ko to mas maibibigay sa kanila ng maayos? What can I do to give them the best service that they need? Okay? So clear tayo with the client avatar, guys? Okay, I see you guys nodding your head. Okay, all right. So, okay, so before we move forward, next slide, please, Fritz. But before we do all this, I need you to remove the clutter that hinders you from doing things that you want and creating the life that you want to live. Okay. So next slide, please. All right. I want you guys now to imagine a glass of water. Just imagine there's a glass of water in front of you. Okay. Now, can you see through it? If I have this glass of water, kita ko ba yung nasa kabila nung water, nung glass? Do you think, can you see what's on the other side of the glass?
Hindi masyado clear ata. Hindi masyado clear?
Say, for example, it's crystal clear. Walang obstruction. Nothing is clouding your view from one side to the other. So, para siyang, wala akong glass of water eh. Ito na lang. So like this, for example, right? So say this is a thin glass with water. You could see it clearly kasi crystal clear yung water inside the glass, right? Now imagine putting a spoonful of dirt dun sa glass na yon and you start stirring it. What happens to the water inside the glass? Anybody? So meron kang isang baso, may tubig yung loob ng baso, nilagyan mo siya ng dirt, then you start stirring it. What do you think would happen dun sa glass of water? It will become cloudy. Correct?
Cloudy.
Lalabo siya kasi nilagyan mo siya ng dirt. Yeah. And if you add a little more, will you be able to see the other side as clearly as before?
Hindi na. Darker
Yes?
na.
No? Darker. Correct. Next slide, please, Fritz. So when that happens, right? Imagine that this glass of water is your mind, right? So kapag wala kayong iniisip, stress-free kayo, that water inside your mind is clear. You can think clearly, right? Pero when you start putting things onto it, all those distractions, all those worries, those are dirt na nilalagay natin sa isip natin. If you put all those distractions, maybe you don't want to, pero may dumadating sa isip natin, right? It becomes blurry. Hanggang dumadating na kayo sa point na parang you're feeling you're really overwhelmed, right? So what do you need to do? You need to stop. Kasi sometimes we beat ourselves up trying to come up with solutions when it's really like blurry. Parang ang dami-dami ng nagka-clutter sa isip natin, gulong-gulo na tayo. You just need to stop. You do not need to take action right away and work on everything at the same time. Okay? Masyadong maraming due dates. May problema yung bookkeeping nitong isang client. Etong empleyado ko hindi dumating. Yung magpapadala ng, I don't know, like the extent of work that you do for your clients. But, you know, like, if those are things that are like clouding your mind, I need you to stop. And think of it, because you do not need to take action right away and work on everything at the same time. You need to give yourself a chance to hit the brakes and pause. You will see that by giving yourself the chance to think thoroughly, you'll be able to say things differently. Look at a different angle and resolve each problem one at a time. Okay? So yes, one at a time. So kapag gulong-gulo ka na, you just need to stop. And then, next slide, please, Fritz. Stay calm. Now, I understand you might want to tell me this, like, Tish, it's easy for you to say that because you haven't walked my path. Oh, yes, you're right. It's easier said than done. But have you imagined how often you made wrong decisions when you are rushed or under pressure? Sino dito yung napilitang mag-decide because they're under pressure? Only to find out at the end of the day na you just made the wrong decision. Why? Because you are rushed. Right? So I want you to remember that you are not dying. So you need to pull yourself together. And like, I believe that's, what's the name? Dalai Lama, right? He said, calm minds brings inner strength and self-confidence. So you need to take a deep breath and stay calm. Okay? So you need to stop, stay calm, and then next slide, please. And declutter. So when I say declutter, you remove all the unnecessary things that are clouding your mind. Start with a clean plate again, get organized, clean all the mess, and start putting things in the right direction. I read somewhere that clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. So start making decisions and clear all the nuances and hindrances that you're keeping you from your goal. Okay? Next slide. And then in order for you to gain clarity, you need to think like a champ. When your mind is clear, it's easier to make sound decisions that will help you plan and create goals that are attainable, measurable, challenging, and inspirational. And after you have gained your clarity, next slide, please, you'd be able to focus. So keep your eye on to the target. Do not be distracted by what others are doing or saying about you or with what you're doing. Just focus on your goals and what you need to do to reach that goal. And then next slide, please. And then work towards your goal. So the difference between planning and reaching your goal is doing. You need to work. Okay? So from the clarity session, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 things that you need to remember, right? You need to stop, take a break and pause, stay calm, okay? And once you feel like, okay, kalmado na ako, right? Then that's the time that you declutter. One step at a time, one thing at a time. And then after that, you gain the clarity. Nakita mo na kung ano yung big picture mo, na-separate mo na kung ano yung mga kailangan mong gawin. And then you focus. And then you work towards your goal. Okay? Next, strategy. Okay, thank you. So it's a strategy. Next slide, please. Strategy is creating a business, creating a business strategy is not really about marketing. It's the brain behind that. The key is knowing how and when to apply it and leveraging its exponential potentials. So with the strategy, oftentimes I see myself looking at ways, how can I get clients? as the only purpose of creating a strategy for my business. Pero this is not really what I was looking for. Creating a business strategy is not really about marketing. It's the brain behind that. So most of the time, sino dito yung guilty? It's this Black Friday sale, no? Sino dito yung parang, oh, I need to buy all these courses. Parang other say new course, I need to buy that to help me with my business. Sino yung guilty about that? Wala sa inyo yung, bumibili ng mga courses. That's good. Okay, anyway. So, as you know, like when you have like courses that you purchase, right? The ones that you purchase, they're already enough. The challenge lies is in the implementation. Say, for example, this Bookkeeper Secret Academy that you guys have, right? It's all about in the implementation. It's not just about, like getting all this information, attending all this trainings, but it's on the implementation. The key is knowing how and when to apply it and leveraging its exponential properties. Okay, so here's a quick tip on how to what you call this, to focus on your business goals and identify what needs to be done to be one step closer to your goals. Okay, so first, you need to focus on your business goals and identify what needs to be done to be one step closer to your goal. And based on the tasks that you uncovered, right, create a weekly schedule that will detail things that you will do for your business. So una sa strategy is just focus on your business goals. Remember in the first part in the clarity, we were able to come up with the list of things that you need to do and like to focus on those things that you need to do. So sa strategy part, you would need to focus on your business goals na. And identify, ano ba yung kailangan ko for this business goals? Okay? So, i-list down mo sila. I don't know if you guys still believe in pen and paper, pero ako kasi with what I do, I need to make sure that I write everything. So, kung ang business goal ko is, say, for example, to build an agency this year, right? Kailangan, you would need to list down. Ano yung mga kailangan kong gawin in order for me to achieve that? Hindi yung goal ko lang is to build the agency. You need to make sure that you list down everything. Ano yung mga kailangan ko in order to build the agency? Ano ba yung kailangan ko for business registration? Ano ba yung kailangan ko for hiring the team? Ano ba yung kailangan ko in-house ba to? Or virtual ba itong gagawin kong agency? Right? And then based on the tasks that you uncovered, you create a weekly schedule that will detail things that you will do for your business. Okay? So pag nakalista na yung mga ang dapat mong gawin, then you schedule that on a weekly basis. You say part dun sa list mo is like prospecting, getting new clients. You put some time on a weekly basis kung kailan ka magi-start magkuha ng mga clients. Right? For example, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 to 10 a.m. magpa-prospect ako ng clients. Okay? Magjo-join ako ng mga Facebook groups. I'll start cheerleading sa mga clients ko. Or I will have this time to meet with in-person clients, right? Mga small businesses na gusto kong i-follow at kuhanin. So you put that as a schedule. And then, you gather all your resources. All right? Gather mo lahat ng resources mo. Say, for example, you want acquisition. Acquisition is like getting the clients. Okay? So say, for example, acquisition, mag-acquire kayo ng clients. Meron ba akong resources about acquiring clients? Or meron ba akong group about, na magtuturo sa akin on how to acquire clients? You list that down, right? Beside dun sa things na gagawin mo, you list down the resources on the right side. Kung ano yung mga courses na makakatulong sa'yo to achieve that goal. I think some of you here, member ng tribe. Sino dito yung member ng tribe? Freelance Movement Tribe. Si Karen May. Okay, right. Yeah, so si Karen. Karen is familiar with this. So, like, right, for example, you're a tribe member, no? So, in the tribe, tinuturo sa inyo how to get clients, how to acquire clients. So, that would be one of the resources that you have. Okay? Say, for example, dito sa TBSA, right? I don't know, like, sorry, hindi ko alam yung yung mga, ang tawag ba dito? mga modules nyo inside TBSA. But say, for example, there's a specific module na assign towards service delivery, or a specific module assigned to get clients or to get organized and all the stuff. You put that in there on the site. Para you know that this is what I need to do and this is the resources. Okay? And then set one time in a week to consume the knowledge and directly implement it. Kasi one of the things that you guys are doing, especially if you're signed up with a course, ang ginagawa kasi nila, parang dire-diretso nanonood sila. Okay, nood, ganito. Hanggang sa matapos mo yung module. At the end of the day, hindi mo na natatandaan kung ano yung mga napag-aralan mo previously. Sinong guilty doon? Yung akala mo habang nagbabasa ka, habang parang, uy, right, oo, alam ko to, tama to. Tapos pagkatapos, after a week, ay ano nga ba yun? Hindi mo na-implement, right? Sino guilty dyan sa ganong sa ganong, can you put in the comment kung ayaw niyo magsalita? Sino yung ganon? Yung parang feeling mo productive ka kasi di ba parang, ay, ginagawa ko to. I mean, sorry, hindi mo ginagawa. Parang wina-watch mo lang siya. Pero I learned from it to implement right away. Yes, that is the key, Karen. You need to implement it right away. Hindi mo kailangang i-consume lahat and then at the end of that, saka ka mag-implement. You study one module and then you implement. Because through implementation, that's where you would actually master yung natutunan nyo when you implement it. And then when you start committing errors, committing mistakes. Yes, so kasi once you start having mistakes, having errors, and then trying to come up with a solution, that's when you truly learn. Tama? Like for example, meron nakalagay dito na, here's like the 10 things that you need to follow. And then after those 10 things, biglang, ginawa ko naman to, kaya lang, hindi nag-work ganito, ganyan. And then nag-reach out kayo, say for example, kay Shari, nag-reach out kayo, and then you ask for consultation. And then Shari was able to help you, parang, okay, kasi ganito, ganyan, ganyan. You learn more when you commit mistakes, right? And then when you overcome those mistakes, na-resolve nyo, that's when you are actually learning. Okay? And then after that, you document the process so you can add it in your online office and have it implemented. Okay? So say, for example, this is the module that you have, right? You watch it. Once you watch it, you take in the actionable items, you do it, and you take notes. And then you create your own business process around it. If it's about client acquisition, you take notes, right? You implement it. Tapos, as you implement it, meron ka nakikitang mga problems along the way or mga do's and don'ts. And then you apply, anong tawag mo dito? You update your notes and that becomes your standard operating procedure, your own guidelines. Now, once you create your agency, if you will need to delegate that part of the training to another VA or to another team member, you can give them hindi na yung raw material. Kasama na dun yung experience, embedded na yung experience nyo dun. Embedded na dun sa ibinigay nyo sa kanila kung ano yung mga natutunan nyo along the way. Okay? All right. Now let's go to I'm gonna skip some of the slides here because I know your time is like really important. So let me just go through this really quickly. So planning for success. Okay, next slide, please. Right. So since it's towards the end of the year, I'm just gonna go through this really quickly. Okay. So when you plan for success, first you determine the vision and goal for the coming year. This is the best time to do your annual planning. Ano ba yung gagawin nyo for the following year? Okay. Next slide. And then again, identify what you need to do to reach that goal. So hindi lang tayo puro planning. Okay? Kailangan may actionable items lagi. When you plan, ano yung actionable item after that planning? And then strategize. Okay? Next. And then after that, you lay out a specific plan to achieve your goals. So meron ka ng may vision ka na for the coming year. Ito yung gusto ko marating next year. After na makuha mo na yung vision mo, you identify actionable items. Ano ba yung kailangan ko to reach this goal? Right? Once you have that actionable items, you strategize na. Paano? Paano ko to may implement? And then, you lay out the specific plan. You know the how, and then, i-lay out mo na. Next. And then you picture yourself. Where do you see your business going in 2023? Okay. And in my previous coaching, sa mga coaching, mga consult, because I also do business consulting, no? So with my consulting clients, what actually I have them is to create a vision board, right? Then sa vision board, andun yung 5 achievable goals that you wanted to do for the next year. O kahit 4, para per quarter, meron kang goals per quarter. Next. Okay, so when you create your vision board, make sure that yung vision nyo is first, attainable. Second, it should be measurable. Third, it's inspiring, or it is challenging. So attainable, okay? Like for example, ang vision mo is to have 10 million pesos in your account. Dapat attainable. Do you think next year ma-achieve nyo yun? 10 million right away? Hindi, di ba? But you can come up with like, okay, by next year, dapat meron akong 2 million sa bank account ko. Attainable. Kaya. If you're serving 64 clients, I think kayang-kaya yan. For you to have like 2 million or sabihin natin 1.2 million. Just an example. Kailangan na 1.2 M ako sa bank account ko for 2023. Now, how are you going to do that? Ibig sabihin, kung 1.2 ang goal ko for the next year, I need to have 100,000 savings each month. Right? So that's you analyzing. How will I achieve that? 1.2 million? Okay. Kailangan may 100,000 ako per month. Right? So if I want to have 100,000 per month, ilang clients ang kailangan kong iserve on a monthly basis to achieve that? Right? Then you make your computation. And then after you have that, then that's gonna be your new goal. Kung sinabi sa computation nyo, you need to have, say, halimbawa sabi sa inyo, kailangan mo ng 10 clients to have 100,000 gross. Pero since gusto mo savings yan, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, maybe siguro kailangan, I need to double it. So, dapat meron akong 20 clients maintaining, paying me 10,000 each. Para meron akong 200,000 every month. And out of the 200,000, dapat ang expenses ko lang would be 100,000 and the other 100,000 would be saved to the bank. Does that make sense, guys? Do you see where this is going? This is all about not just dreaming, but rather creating the plans for you to reach that dream. Kasi madaling mangarap eh. Agree? Madali mag-create ng vision. Napakadali nan. Sabihin ko, gusto ko to. Tapos ang sasabihin sa inyo ng mga inspirational post or kung sino man yung makikita nyo dyan sa Facebook, TikTok, right? Sabihin lang nila, you manifest it. I-manifest nyo lang, it will come to you. Gusto mo ng 1.2 million gold, you manifest that and it will come. I mean, I have nothing against them, pero if you don't have a solid plan, an actionable item towards that, it will not happen. Kahit gaano ka mag-manifest, kahit ilagay mo, i-plaster mo sa lahat ng walls mo, 1.2 million ako next year. It will not happen. Why? Because you don't have a clear goal and a clear plan on how to achieve that. Okay? And then, yun nga sinasabi ko, measurable. Measurable siya, ibig sabihin, you're able to dissect yung goal mo. Okay? Yung sabi ko, di ba, 1.2 million. Okay, so 1.2 million, ibig sabihin, 100,000 savings each month. 100,000 savings each month. Anong ibig sabihin nun? I need to have 20 clients paying me 10,000. And then I need to make sure na I have the 100,000 savings and then 100,000 just for expenses. And then it should be inspiring. What would it make you feel if you have that amount of money in that bank account? Oh, it's my retirement fund, right? A retirement fund ko to. This would help a lot para may emergency funds for my family. It should be something that would inspire you. Okay? And then challenging. It's a challenge. Bakit? Say for example, you're just earning 100,000 a month ngayon, right? Challenging yourself to make it double would make a whole lot of difference, right? Clear tayo on this, guys? Clear? Okay, all right. Next slide, please. Okay, your income goals. Okay, next slide. Okay, I want you to make a difference between personal income and versus business income. I don't think that I need to discuss this anymore because you guys are bookkeepers and I guess maybe you are more knowledgeable sa akin when it comes to this, but I'm just gonna share with you what, you know, my point of view when it comes to personal income and my business income. With my company, with my business kasi I pay myself, right? So may salary ako for myself. For managing the business, that this is my salary and that is my personal income. Ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung iaalat ko para sa sarili ko, doon lang ako gagastos. Doon lang sa personal income ko. Right? And then, meron akong nakabukod for the business income. Okay? Next slide, please. All right. Now, I have what I call the 30% rule. Okay? So, ano yung 30% rule? No matter what projects, kasi I'm a digital marketing specialist then, and I'm a business consultant, okay? So whenever I have projects, I need to make sure that I have 30% of the gross income. Yung 30% ng gross income ko, that's already my personal income. So meaning, yung 30%, kung 100,000 man yung project na yan, 30,000 would go to me as my salary. And then 70% ko, it would be divided sa business. So say for example, out of that 70%, I decide to give say half ng 70% would be given to my team. For example, just an example, halimbawa 35% would go to my team or sa outsourced team ko, right? So 35% would go to the outsourced team and then yung other 35%, doon ko na siya hahatiin. Business expenses, and then business savings. Okay? So that's how I do my my percentages. Basta ang pinaka-importante, you have 30% of the gross income as your personal income. And then the rest, hindi mo yan, wala kang karapatang galawin yan. Because that's the business. Kasi this will save you, kung meron kang business savings, yun yung magiging ano mo, anong tawag nila doon? Safety net mo. Right? Minsan magka-problema, merong kliyenteng hindi magbayad or biglang nawala mga kliyente mo, merong sasambot sa'yo kasi you have your business income separated. Okay? Next. Business review. All right, we're just gonna go through this really quick. Okay, so part pa rin ng part of the strategy pa rin is yung business review. Okay? Next slide, please. So, dun sa topic natin, this is, analyzing business processes and loopholes, right? So, this is where you'd be able to analyze yung mga loopholes ng business processes nyo. Okay? When you do your business review, I want you to identify the major issues that you have encountered this year and how did you resolve it. Okay? So, isipin nyo, ano ba yung mga major issues na nangyari sa akin sa business ko this year? At paano ko ba siya na-resolve? Or na-resolve ko ba siya? Or hindi? Put it in writing. You put down all the challenges that you have and then on the right side, lagay nyo doon yung mga learnings ninyo. Ano yung natutunan ko for this year? Right? Ano yung na-resolve ko ba to? Hindi ko ba to na-resolve? Ano yung dapat kong gawin dito? Ano yung next step mo sa hindi mo na-resolve? Okay? So, doon sa mga hindi mo na-resolve, you put it on priority. Right? Alin dito yung pressing? Alin dito yung kailangan kong gawin right away? Because if not, it's gonna be detrimental for my business. Right? Okay. Next And then what made this year extra special? Ano yung mga wins mo? Go back to your wins and ask yourself what you did differently that brought you your win. Like for example, this year I was able to close 50 clients. I was able to bring 50 clients to my business. That's a great win. And it's something that you should celebrate. Okay? Small man yan o malaki man yan, if it's a win, you need to celebrate that. Why? Because that's gonna keep you motivated. Sabi nga nila, the difference between winning first place and winning third place is your attitude towards that. Okay? Minsan may nanalo na first place pa, pero alam mo yun, parang hindi pa rin sila masaya. Pero yung nasa third place, makita mo, ay, akala mo tumama sa loto, tuwan-tuwa na. Right? It's about your attitude towards that. Example, pag umulan, di ba? Yung iba parang feeling gloomy dahil umulan. Pero yung iba nananakbo sa labas. Nagpapaulan, masayang-masaya. So I want you guys to start making a habit. Let's start making a habit of celebrating wins, whether it's small or malaki yan. You celebrate that. Bakit? Because it's a win. And you did a great job. And that's something that's really commendable. Okay? And I want you to start, creating a journal. I don't know if you believe in that. Pero sa akin kasi, when you write things, it becomes clearer. Kasi when you start writing things, then yung hayaan nyo lang na nandun yung sa isip lahat, mas malinaw siya kapag isinulat ninyo. And then, like for example, kagaya nito, toward the end of the year, you can go back. Pwede mong balikan yung mga notes mo and see ano ba yung mga challenges ko, ano ba yung mga wins ko. Tapos doon ka huhugot ng motivation mo, inspiration mo for the next year, inspiration mo for the next month. Okay? Or the next quarter or the next day. Next slide, please. Now, eto pabalik-balik ako. Laging ganun. How are you going to reach your goals? What marketing strategies should be in place? Yes, so Karen, it's good to have a journal. Oo. Importante yan. Do you have the resources available or do you need help? So this is part of the strategizing. Okay? Again, balik-balik lang tayo dun. Basta ang sa akin lang, ang main point ko lang dito is, when you have a goal, you create a plan. Actionable items lagi towards that goal. Okay? Gone are the days na parang, oh, I want this, I want that. Pero wala kang ginagawa. Okay? If you want something, you create a plan, right? It's good that you have a goal. You create a plan. You write that plan. You put in actionable items, right? And implement it. Put it in action. Okay? Clear? Guys? All right. Next slide, please. Systems. Okay. Next slide. Okay, with systems, okay, you should create a great system for your business that enables you to address a specific problem or business issue today or in the future. Next slide. Okay, so there are 4 important business systems. Next slide, please. First is the client acquisition system. Okay, so client acquisition system, this is acquiring clients, getting sales, right? So that's the client acquisition system. Okay. Ano ba yung system nyo when acquiring clients? Paano kayo mag-acquire ng clients? Okay. Dapat ba, ano ba to? Anong tawag mo sa ganun? Dapat ba, meron kang prospecting, right? Paano ka magpo-prospect? Once na prospect mo na sila, ano yung mga next steps? Ano yung mga follow-up? System is like, kung alam niyo nagbe-bake, right? Baking, right? Degeneration, yes. When you're baking, there's this, parang step-by-step procedure. Para at the end of that, pag finalo mo lahat yon, magkakaroon ka ng cake na masarap. Kasi, nakaano na siya eh. Meron ka ng 1 cup of flour, egg, ganito, ganyan-ganyan. Ando na yon. So, system is like a recipe. Okay? It's like a recipe that gives you the step-by-step procedure and the different processes that you need to follow in order for you to come up with the deliverable that you have. Okay? Next system. client onboarding system. So, ano ba yung client onboarding system? I know Karen is familiar with this, yung client onboarding system. How about the rest of you guys? Are you familiar with the client onboarding system? Ma'am Mumar, Sheena, Ma'am Vic? Are you guys familiar with a client onboarding system?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So with client onboarding system, this is how you would onboard the client. Say for example, may bagong client ako. Okay? Ano yung mga non-negotiables na kailangan ko from the client? You need to make sure that you have a list of things that you want them to give you prior to working with them. If there's a contract that they need to sign, you put the contract in place, right? And then also yung mga NDAs, I'm sure that's something that you guys have, non-disclosure agreements then. And then yung mga, like for example, here are the requirements, right? And this is the guidelines. This is how you would work with me. Say for example, oh, I'm just Monday to Friday lang ang operation hours ko, so don't expect me to respond with you Saturday, Sunday. So you give them like all the house rules. Ang client onboarding system is like providing them with the list of what you need from them, and also you integrate them with the system that you have for them to become a client. Okay? Next, please. Service delivery. Okay. And service delivery is how you would deliver the services. Syempre, service delivery. So say for example, if this is a new client, ano ba yung mga step-by-step procedure ninyo? This is good so that you can delegate the things to your team members para hindi lang one-man band to na ikaw ang gagawa lahat. Okay? Say for example, pag meron kang bagong client, ano yung gagawin ng team? Ano yung usually na ginagawa mo when there's a new client? So that's a service delivery system. Okay? Say for example, okay, so at this time, ganyan, dapat meron tayong list ng ganito, okay? So meron ba kayong online system na ginagamit? Say for example, setting up their QuickBooks account. I'm not sure if you guys are doing that. Pero alam niyo yung mga ganong bagay. So what you do in order for you to deliver those services sa kanila, you put it in place. And that's gonna compose your service delivery system. Okay? So, laging ano yan, I always create workflows. Yun ang lagi kong ginagawa. Lagi ako may workflow. Next, please. And then operations. Okay, ang operations naman is everything behind the scene. Siyempre, when you run the business, it's not all client-facing, di ba? May operations din kayo. In the backend, meron din kayong sariling taxes ninyo. Meron din kayong like for example, yung mga marketing efforts ninyo, that's part of the operations din. Who's gonna do what? Managing mga messengers, managing mga administrative things that they need to do, documentation and all. So that's part of the operation system. So yung 4 important business systems na kailangan yung tingnan sa sarili nyong business would be these 4 systems. Yung client acquisition ninyo, how you would get clients. Client onboarding, how would you have them to be integrated sa company ninyo. Third, how would you deliver the service to them? And then fourth, ano yung mga operations behind that? Okay? Now, I wanted to share with you a simple hack to create a system that works. Okay? Right. So creating a great system for your business addresses a specific problem or business issue today or in the future. So each system, okay, each system can be a combination of manual processes, workflow, or automation. Okay, so in order for you to create that system that will work for you and your business, you need to identify your priorities. So eto na naman tayo. Your goals, right? Your daily stuff that delay you from focusing on the bigger picture, right? And then all the other things that needs to be done. Sino yung familiar sa inyo sa Eisenhower matrix? Anyone familiar? Okay, meron kasing Eisenhower matrix. Yung matrix na yun kasi, it has like 4 quadrants. So imagine yung 4 quadrants, ganyan, no? Right? So dun sa first quadrant, ito yung lahat ng urgent and important. Okay? So kapag naglagay kayo, hindi ko siya nagawa dito, pero imagine meron kayong 4 na quadrants, right? So dun sa 4 na quadrants na yun, hihiwa-hiwalayin nyo siya between important and urgent. Okay? So dun sa first quadrant nyo, dun sa upper part ng quadrant, those are the things that are urgent and that are important. Important and urgent, right? Dito sa katabi niya, yes, do, decide, delegate, delete. Yes. So the first quadrant, those are the things that you need to do. Those are the urgent and the important tasks that you need to do. CEO task, that's the task that you need to prioritize. The second quadrant would be, ano nga ba to? So this is urgent and important, right? This is not urgent and important. Importanteng bagay pero hindi naman siya urgent ngayon. Okay? And then yung dito sa labas, dito sa kabila naman, this is, so sorry, important, urgent,
Not important.
important, not urgent, and then urgent, not important, and then not urgent, not important. So imagine niyo lang yan, sorry, if you need to like draw, hanap lang ako ng pagdodrawingan ko dito. Yan. Can you guys see that? Ay, naka-blur. Yan. Okay na. Alright. Yan. Okay, so, kita nyo guys? Ayun! Thank you very much! Ayan, thank you. So, that's that. Okay, so the first quadrant here, that's the urgent and important. Those are the things that you need to do, right? The second quadrant, that's the less urgent and less important. These are things that you can decide on. Pwede mo siyang i-park na parang, oh, I don't need to do it right away. I know this is important, but this is not urgent. I can schedule this, right? I can calendar this. And then yung third quadrant would be less important, right? And less urgent. Less important and urgent. So ito yung mga, hindi naman siya ganun ka-importante na kailangan ako ang gumawa. But since this is urgent, I can have someone to do this for me. Okay? So hindi to critical task. I can have someone to do this for me. And then last but not the least, ito yung mga less important and less urgent. Ito yung mga things na akala natin napaka-importanting gawin natin, pero hindi pala. And you can delete those. All right? Okay. So I want you to take note of this Eisenhower matrix kasi this matrix actually helped me a lot in managing my day-to-day tasks, like my day-to-day business. It helps me manage my day-to-day business by just putting the things that I need to do on a daily basis in this matrix. Kasi from here, you'd be able to know what you would need to prioritize and then what you can delegate. Okay? That's clear? Clear ba tayo guys on that? Okay, and maybe Fritz can share with you yung Eisenhower matrix so you can have like a better view on that then as well. Okay, so going back to the simple hack. Yeah, simple hack that I do for my business. Okay? So first, punta na tayo dito. Create a list. Yan. Okay. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, I'm all about listing. I'm all about journaling. So, list down everything that you need to do in your business. Categorize each task or process so you can focus on the things that only you can do and what you can delegate to your team. Okay? So, yun yung Eisenhower matrix. Alright? You create a list and then put it in the Eisenhower matrix. Yung mga nandun sa first list, then you put that on priority. Right? Dun sa do, dun sa do list nyo. And then dun sa decide list, you can put it in a calendar. Lagay nyo dun sa calendar ninyo, maglagay kayo dun ng block of time on when you would do that. It helps a lot actually to put things in the calendar. Para alam nyo, parang okay, dapat by this time tapos na ako. I should start working on the other task na. Ganon. So it's gonna help you be accountable. Okay? And then next, picture the whole process and create a business workflow. On this, when you create a list pala, you need to identify as well recurring tasks that you can easily recreate with training documents. Okay? So say for example, di ba, nasa Eisenhower kayo, pero lalo na dun sa mga tasks na i-delegate nyo sa team, most of them are recurring. So if it's a recurring task, it's something that you can easily create a training document on, right? Para whenever you have this task, you can just have a part of your team to do that. Okay, next is to picture the whole process and create a business workflow. Okay, so when you create a business workflow, I want you to picture it like what are the different steps and processes, okay? And then who needs to do that? When do they need to have this accomplished? Why they need to do this? And how should they do it? Okay? So that answers the who, sinong gagawa, right? The what, ano yung kailangan nilang gawin? The when, kailan nila to kailangan gawin? Why? Bakit ito kailangan gawin? It's also important to tell them why they need to do that so that they would be clear. So sa pinapagawa ninyo. And they would see the implications. Like for example, kailangan you need to do this kasi if you don't gonna do this task will be affected. Parang ganon, right? And then the how, the step-by-step procedure on how to do that. Now, as you can see, if this is like a recurring task that you guys are doing, say for example, on the service delivery, no, you can easily create a business workflow. Ano yung business workflow? Yun yung mga boxes na may arrows. Tapos may mga parang if this, then that. Alam niyo yun? So say for example, prospecting, no? Hindi. What service delivery? Anong unang-unang part ng service delivery ninyo? Like for example, gathering documents from client. So yun step 1. Tapos may arrow yun katabi. After na mag-gather yung ano yung susunod na gagawin? Ito. After nito, ano yung susunod na gagawin? Ito. Now dito, pag nagawa to ni client, anong mangyayari? Or pag natapos to, anong gagawin nyo? Ito. Say for example, this is invoicing. Nagbayad na ba yung kliyente? Ito yung decision. Nagbayad na ba yung kliyente? Yes. Pag nagbayad ng kliyente, okay. Continue service. No? Ito, sa baba. Follow up. Okay? That is the business workflow. Okay? So you start, it's like creating a puzzle. No? Identify nyo muna ano yung mga kailangan gawin. Then after that, start creating a workflow. Para everybody would see where they are in the process. And then you would be able to see the loopholes in the business when you start creating that business workflow. I wanted to create, let me show you something, no? Ano nga ba yung ginagamit ko? Wait lang, sorry. Procedure. Okay. Diagramming or business workflow is my life. Yan talaga yung ano ko. Ayan yung super duper love ko. In everything I do, I create a workflow, I create a mind map. And I wanted to share this with you guys. Pero kay Fritz ko na lang i-share. So, not necessarily every task, but this is, I would suggest that if you have a, anong tawag mo dito? Yung systems, remember the systems that we've talked about before, right? Ang workflow is more of combination of task, not the task itself. Hindi nyo kailangan gawa ng workflow bawat isang task, but rather the combination of tasks. Like for example, yung onboarding, okay? Para lang alam ninyo how it will flow from this to this. Let me see if I can have a link shared. Just generating a link para ma-share ko siya. Okay. Okay, Fritz, I'm sharing with you the link to a sample workflow para may idea sila of what I am referring to. Para ma-share mo siya sa screen. Okay. Oh, TBSA is the password. Small letters lang. TBSA. Yeah. Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna show you po the sample of a business workflow. Di kaya, Fritz? Ah,
Yes po.
sorry. Let me try and share my screen.
Okay, stop share ko po akin.
Yes.
Sige po.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes po.
Okay. So ito yung, this is an example of a business workflow. Now, I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed, pero I just want to show you what a business workflow looks like, okay? So ito yung, this is for a digital marketing agency, no? So my apologies if I'm not really familiar with the service that you guys have. So I'm just gonna give an example sa digital marketing agency, okay? So eto, as you can see, this is where the client acquisition happens, okay? So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo that what's gonna happen next, all right? So lagpasan natin to, okay? So yan, ito yung, like for example, if may landing page sila, alam niyo yung landing page when someone opted in, yung kailangan niyo maglagay ng email address ninyo in order for you to access a specific, anong tawag dito, a specific lead magnet, right? Once you opt in, mapunta kayo sa thank you page and then you would receive email sequences from that, kung sino man yung pinag-sign upan ninyo. And if, say for example, hindi kayo nag-sign up, pero nagpunta kayo dun sa landing page, magugulat na lang kayo, bakit nakikita ko siya sa Facebook? Lumalabas siya sa Facebook ko. Right? Because you are targeted. Na-retarget kayo through Facebook ads. So, ito yung sample ng workflow. What happens next? Okay? So, ito ang example ng, let me just check. So, part pa rin to, no show, Okay, here. So from here, right? Can you see that? Right. So say for example, someone signed up with you guys, right? So what's gonna happen next? Kapag nag-sign up sila, anong mangyayari? Kami, we have a CAB questionnaire. Okay? And then pagkatapos nang i-fill up yung CAB questionnaire, magkakaroon ng CAB call. So sa inyo, it could be something like nag-reach out kayo and then set ng appointment. Pag nag-set ng appointment sila, so you meet with the client. Okay? So after mo meet mo yung client, syempre, in-person meeting ba to? Ganyan. And dun sa in-person meeting nyo, meron kayong different outcomes. Sa amin, ang outcomes doon after ng call, ito yung mga deliverables namin. We give them the blueprint, the full implementation guide, and then the quote to work with us. Like, say for example sa inyo, when you meet with the client, ano yung mga deliverables after nyo ma-meet si client? So ito yung nakalagay dito sa workflow dito. And then say for example, nagbigay ka ng quote, oh sir, this is how much we will charge if we're gonna handle your bookkeeping services, for example, right? And then you send them a proposal, right? So once they have the proposal, ano nangyayari? Merong 4 na possible na outcome. Okay? Ano yung possible na outcome? Yes, I wanted to sign up with you. No, hindi ako magsa-sign up, hindi ako interesado. Hindi ako sure. O kaya, hindi nag-respond. Okay? So, kapag yes, what will happen next? Ito na yan. So, kapag nag-yes ang kliyente, then you will onboard them. If no, pwedeng hayaan mo na sila. Ayaw nila eh. Pwede. O kaya, ilagay mo sila sa newsletter mo. Kung undecided on no response, it could be a follow-up email sequence. Undecided to, so follow-up natin. Right? You do the necessary follow-up. And then, ito na yung sinasabi ko na onboarding. Okay? Yung onboarding process. So, ano yung onboarding process? So, once they say yes, magsasign sila ng agreement, tapos you do the back office. Ano yung kailangan nyo? Kailangan ba nakaset up yung Google Drive? May mga folder ba? You need the logins and all, right? Then after that agreement, eto, sa amin kasi we have statement of work. So pwedeng sa inyo NDA and then invoice. Once na magbayad na sila, then you set them up, right? And then you have the non-negotiables. Ito yung mga kailangan po namin bago namin kayo trabahuhin. Ito yung client onboarding checklist. Ito po yung mga list ng things na kailangan namin from you, right? And then once you have that, then this is your service delivery. Sa amin, in the digital world, ang ano namin is may kick-off call, may meeting with the team, tapos may timeline setting for the delivery. Tapos may first milestone, invoice, final milestone, client approval, tapos project complete. Sa inyo, it could be the monthly thing that you're doing with the client. So this would detail here ano yung mga kailangan gawin nyo on a monthly basis. Okay? So say for example, okay, so part ng service delivery nyo, for example, would be creating that list, ang tawag nito sa ganun, yung balancing. Yung binabalance yung ano yung statements nila with the QuickBooks, for example. So halimbawa, yun yung first step, and then next step, eto taxes and all ganyan. Ang hirap kasi hindi ko alam yung yung different processes, pero hopefully nakaka-relate kayo with what I am referring to. And then after that, say for example, you list down, ito yung process, ito yung ganito magfo-flow. So once you have this kasi, right? Once you have this workflow, yan, this is the workflow of everything that's happening in the business. So once you have this workflow na, and then you share it with your team would know. Ano yung gagawin ko after? Kasi minsan ganun tayo, di ba? Parang, okay, so gawin mo to. Oh, what's next? Hindi alam ng team member nyo. So then doon bumabagsak. And then, kapag halimbawa, meron kang kailangang ipagawa, tapos, hindi nagawa, madali mo siyang balikan. Bakit hindi nagawa to? Ma'am, kasi po, ito po, hindi po nagawa. Sinong accountable dito? Yan, and so on and so forth. So, bawat box dito, these are the tasks. Yung mga list na pinagawa ko sa inyo, ito yung mga tasks. And then, inside those tasks, doon nyo naman ilalagay yung mga training documents, yung mga step-by-step naman on how to do the task. Okay? So, a business workflow would be a combination of all the tasks that you need to do. Okay? Is that clear? Clear po tayo doon? Yan, yes po. It's a blueprint. There's a lot of terms na ginagamit. Blueprint, workflow, guide. As long as it, serves the purpose, I don't care how you call it. Basta, it's a combination of all the tasks that you need to do, properly lined up, connected to each other. Okay? Okay. Fritz, let's go back to the slide, please. Thank you. Okay. So, once you have that, then, it's good to have a brainstorming session with your client o kaya sa team ninyo, or if you have a coach, to have a brainstorming session with them so that there's another eye looking at the process or the systems that you guys have. Kasi minsan, akala natin, ay, okay na to, di ba? We're so full of ourselves na parang, uy, kayang-kaya natin, okay na okay to. Pero before you know it, meron ka palang na-miss na hindi mo pala nakita. So, those other person or those other people can let you know na parang, ay, parang you miss doing this. They could ask you a question that would lead you to realizing na, ay, oo nga, ganito pala yan, ganyan. Okay? Yes, opo. If you really want to, like set things up, talagang there's a lot of things that you need to do. But I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed about it. Okay? Kasi itong mga system na to, you can do this like one at a time. And this is the system that you would need to use if you want to scale. Kasi ang bottom line dito is for you to create a repeatable process na pwedeng sundan na lang ng team member ninyo. Once na na-set up nyo na, they would know like what they need to do, right? Alam na nila kung ano yung gagawin nila. They have the documents, they have the workflow, and you just need to hire someone to manage them, to make sure that each task in the workflow is done, right? And then once it's all done, you can let go. And you can leave the CEO life. Para on a weekly basis, you can just check with the team or kahit daily basis yan, i-check mo na lang. And then you can just do client management. Do everything that you wanted to do, right? On your own terms na. Okay, does that make sense po? Is that clear? Okay, all right. So after that, then you implement and then you document. Okay? So yun lang yun. After all those things, nagawa mo na siya, then you start implementing and documenting. Okay? So when you document, you make sure that you have some sort of a storage in the cloud, Google Drive ba yan, alright? Para hindi kung saan-saan putyo-putyo nakalagay yung mga files ninyo. Okay, so you need to have an organized system where you have all the clients' documents, client files, and then you have a specific system for your own business naman. Okay? Ayan, malapit na po tayo matapos. Sorry. Okay, last but not the least, we're in the growth part na. Okay? So, next slide, please. Yan, okay. So, okay, so sa growth part ng business ninyo, you need to identify the difference between the need to scale and the need to create an agency to grow your business. Magkaiba kasi yung scaling and then creating an agency. Okay? When you scale kasi, meaning you get more clients na kaya nyong hawakan. Right? Pero, it means na ikaw yung gumagawa nun or you have an assistant doing it. And it's really overwhelming din pag dumating na sa point na mababurn out na kayo. Right? And then, yung creating an agency naman is having those people, having those systems in place. Like yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, you have the system in place na, you have these people na working with you, right? Then once you have these people na working with you, then you can let go. Especially tayo, I mean, si Ma'am Mumar, and Ma'am Vic, I think you're also thinking of, like, what you want to do with your life then. Hindi naman forever tayo na magtatrabaho. Ako po, I am 41 years old na.
And I am 64.
Exactly, di ba? Ako po sa 41 years old ko, iniisip ko na on when I will retire. Iniisip ko na yan. I have 3 kids. My eldest is 21 years old. Yung second ko is 18 and then yung youngest ko ay 15. So lahat sila ay papunta na sila sa college na and all that. And this early, pinag-uusapan na namin ng asawa ko, what age would I retire? Ayoko ng buong hanggang sa mamatay ako ay nagtatrabaho ako. Ayoko naman ng ganun, right? And if you know already, like si Ma'am Umar, she already has like 64, right? 64 clients. And I'm sure you have a team na, right? And since you have a team na already, then I think it's time for you to have your a system in place. Hindi na ikaw yung dapat na uma-attend ng ganitong academy. You should already have someone na alam mo yun para okay, you attend
Already
this.
have. Meron na po
That's it.
Oo,
Oh,
yung
that's great.
daughter ko. Siya na yung nagmamanage sa accounting and then yung isa, siya na yung nagmamanage sa administrative.
Oh, that's great.
So
pala. That's
ako,
great.
pwede na akong mag-go. Pwede na akong mag-retire.
Ay,
Pero
ang
hindi
sarap
pa daw,
naman.
hindi pa daw. Kailangan pa daw nila ako.
Yun nga po yung sinasabi natin kasi na when, like, you need to make sure na yung team mo that you hired, like the team who's helping you, you're not just giving them, that you're setting them up for growth. You're setting them up for success. And what's gonna help them?
Ma'am, parang next year, may goal na kasi kami. Kami meeting lang namin kahapon. Sabi ko, kailangan ko na magiging corporation to. Kasi pagdating ng araw, I do not want them. Kasi legacy ko na to eh. Legacy ko na to, company na to.
Opo.
Ayaw kong, syempre, money is parang part of an evil. So ayaw kong magkagulo-gulo sila, di ba? So anything may happen to me, ano mang mangyari sa akin, hindi natin alam ang buhay. Parang nire-ready ko na talaga sila kung ano yung mga dapat nilang gagawin. Which they agree naman. They agree. Tsaka sabi nga nila, since mag-i-scale na lang tayo, Mami, tsaka dito sa natutunan ko sa'yo, parang ang dami ko pang dapat gawin na i-implement dito sa office ko. At very thankful ako kasi I have a client who needs my help. Na kasi nag-down sila nung pandemic.
Mhm.
Then by Tuesday, I will be having a meeting with them kasi gusto nilang magpaturo sa akin kung paano daw sila kikita next year. Oh my goodness, ako pa rin. Ako pa rin ba? Pero with help, di ba? Kailangan ko rin silang tulungan. Yan
Yes
lang po.
po.
Thank you very
That's
much.
great. All right. Thank you din for those kind words. So yeah, I'm glad naman that you're able to pick up something dito sa training natin for today. Pero yun nga, like what I'm saying nga po kanina, ito na yung growth, ito na yung scaling, okay? So like for example, si Ma'am Mumar, agency na, corporation na yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So you really need to have your systems in place na. You need to make sure na everything is in place. Kaya the reason why yung mga anak ninyo says na parang, ay, we still need you, right? Hindi ka pa pwede mag-retire, we still need you because they are still unsure. Wala pa kasing rock solid foundation. Meron na kayong systems, yes, kasi nararan nyo na yung business eh, you're successful. Definitely may systems na kayo, but what you're lacking is the documentation
Correct.
and then the workflow, right?
Yes.
Kaya
May workflow na, konti na lang.
yan ang
Marami
maganda. Kaya merong mga question
kulang.
mark, yan mga parang ano yan eh, if this then that, what to do next? Ganun lagi yung mga question eh. Anong mangyayari? If this happens, what are we going to do? Ganon, parang ganon. Okay? So yan, that's great. That's great to know. Okay. So, itatanong ko pa lang sana, are you ready to grow your business? Sinagot na ni Ma'am Umar. So definitely, ayan. So definitely, you guys wanted to grow your business and I'm very happy. Yan, tapos, I'm sure you can do that. Alam niyo po, one thing na nagko-connect sa atin, though I am not a bookkeeper, I started as a virtual assistant before, right? And when I was a virtual assistant, nagbo-bookkeeping din ako sa client ko. Nag-aano ako, yung sa QuickBooks. Pero hindi ako accountant. Hindi ko alam yung mga debit credit. Ayaw ko yung mga debit credit. Naalala ko yung assistant ko dati. Sabi niya sa akin, ma'am, nag-bookkeeping po ako dati. Sabi niya ganyan. Sabi ko, okay. Sabi ko, so anong natutunan mo? Accounting daw siya, accounting. Sabi niya, lagi po kasi akong absent eh, pero ang natatandaan ko lang po 3 bagay. Sabi niya ganyan. Sabi niya, ako na yung 3 bagay. Debit, credit, kupit. Yan daw, debit, credit, kupit. So, it's like an inside joke dun sa amin. Kasi I really don't know anything about debit, credit. Hindi ko alam kung ano yun. Pero when it comes to spreadsheets, bookkeeping, balancing, alam mo yung tipong nagbabalance ka ng spreadsheet tapos may nawawalang 0.1 centavo. Hindi ako makatulog sa 0.1 centavo na yun. As in, hahanapin ko yun hanggang mag-balance yung bank statements niya at yung QuickBooks niya. So, that's how I am. So, yun lang, medyo nakaka-relate ako on that part sa inyo dun sa numbers because I really love numbers. Engineer dapat ako eh, pero hindi. Hindi natuloy. Anyway, so next slide please. Okay. So, since you guys are ready to grow your business, right? So I want you to go back to your drawing board, right? So let's go back to the drawing board. Start creating a mind map or a blueprint. Yung mind map naman, mind map is different than workflows, no? Ang mind map is like, just, parang may list, ililist mo lang, parang, okay, ito, ganyan. Basta, parang brain dump lang, na kung ano yung mga nasa isip nyo. Okay? And then, after ma-brain dump nyo, saka nyo siya i-categorize. Saka nyo siya aayusin. Alright? Now, you start creating the mind map and then decide how you will create your strategic plan. Okay? But no matter how you do it, what's important is getting the key players in your team to be aware of such plan. So kung ano man yung strategic plan na gagawin nyo, please make sure that your team is aware kung ano yung plan na gagawin ninyo. Okay? Kasi hindi pwedeng yung kailangan nakakaalam ng plano ninyo. You need to share it with the team and make sure that the team understands. Hindi lang yung oo sila. Tango lang sila ng tango. Hindi pwedeng tango lang ng tango. If you need to ask them how they understood the plan is, then do that. Kasi the only way that they would, that you know that they understand it is if they can tell you straight up in their own words what the plan is on how you want things done. Okay? All right. Next. Check your finances. Oh, ito, very basic na to sa inyo, yung pag-check ng finances, right? So dito naman, make sure that you do not spend more than what you will earn. Okay? So with business growth, income and your cash flow will change. And you'll definitely run into plenty of unforeseen expenses that will require you to spend money right away. So planning will help you face business costs easier and help limit financial surprises. So make sure to save up for at least 3 months or 6 months of your current business expenses. Ito naman doon sa mga bago pa lang, no? Kasi sometimes alam mo, parang, uy, kumita ako. Kasi this is a common problem sa mga freelancers eh. Parang, kumita ako ng ganitong pera. Right? Kumita ng, say for example, 200,000. Tapos, ang tawag doon, milyonaryo na ng isang araw doon sa 200,000. Tapos, nung sumunod na buwan, eto nga, walang kliyente. Kasi they did not prepare for, like, yung mga sa business expenses nila. So, I want you to prepare for that. And like, for example, makikimami Mumar na rin ako. So, si Mami Mumar, daw siya? She would be hiring a social media manager. So, it's good that you're gonna be, like, adding more people to your team, right? Pero yun yung check your finances part. You need to make sure that you are financially prepared and that you have that money allocated for the different people that you would be hiring. Okay, yun lang po yun on that part. And then next, hire the right team. Okay, so dito sa hiring the right team, medyo may merong mga question mark lagi sa mga hiring na yan eh, no? Parang, paano po ba mag-hire? Paano po ba ganyan? Ako kasi, para sa akin, ang hiring ng para tong parang, tawag dito, para yung sa relationship, you'll never know until maging boyfriend mo na kung what it feels like talaga to be working with these people. Sa hiring parang ganun din eh. Take that as a dating, yung parang dating time. Kaya nga, when I have yung mga clients ko in the States, when they, like, business consultant, I tell them, you give them, like, say, for example, 3 months. Right? And then after 3 months, that's when we would decide if it's a good fit. Pero ako po, when it comes to hiring, siguro ito yung ma-share ko din with you. Since I have handled like my agency for how many years? 10 years before nung kinlose ko siya. Ako, I hire for attitude and train for skills. Yun yung mantra ko with hiring. Hire for attitude, train for skills. Why? You may ask me why. Kasi a positive attitude is a window to great opportunities, right? I hope you'd agree with that. So people with great attitude will embrace the we instead of me and will be good team players. Okay?
Agree.
And then you wanted people who has GWC. Ano yung GWC? Gets it, wants it, capable of doing it. What does that mean? Gets it. Nagigets nila kung kung ano yung kailangan nilang gawin. Kung ano yung role nila. Wants it, I want that role. I want to be that person to help you. And you see, capable, and I'm capable of doing that. I have the basic skills. I have the knowledge on how to do this. Right? So yun yung isa, GWC. And then yun nga, yung attitude. Kasi you need a team player. You need people who's gonna tell you that we can do this instead of I can do this. It's we versus me, right? Kasi you need someone who's gonna be a good team player. And necessary skills change fast. In today's technical world, it is easy to be trained for the skills that you need for your business. Tapos lalo na, if you have set up your system na, so you set up your business na, prior to your growth, and then you would easily overcome the hurdle of having to spend time training and onboarding your new team member. This is where the good systems comes in. Kasi pag na-set up mo na yung system mo, when you hire someone, meron ka ng mga list of things, alam mo na kung anong gagawin nila, right? Pag alam ko na kung anong gagawin ninyo, then ito na yung training documents, right? Kasi in each business kasi kailangan mo pa rin i-train talaga yung mga tao eh. Kasi ako kahit sabihin ko sa'yo, for example, ako po I'm a bookkeeper. Marunong ako sa QuickBooks and all that. Pero there are specific things in your business na kailangan nilang matutunan. And you would still need to train them. You cannot hire someone na alam na agad kung ano yung mga nitty-gritty sa loob ng business mo. So, kung magaling sila sa ABCD na skills, okay, good. You're good at that. Pero I would need you to have the right attitude. I need you to have the heart, the loyalty, or loyalty, hindi pa masyado yan kasi bago pa lang eh. Pero just the GWC. You get it, you want it, and you're capable of doing it. Yun lang. And then, alam mo yun, kasi makikita mo naman yun eh. Ako, I'm doing a lot of hirings din. Ramdam mo naman yan kapag yung kausap mo pa lang, parang, medyo, may Erica te. Diyan ka muna on the side. Parang, eto, maganda ang aura nito. Sige, dito ka. Diba? So, it's a balance between the attitude and the skills. But if I am to choose attitude or skills, I'll go for attitude. Kasi yung skills, kaya ko yung ituro in 2 weeks, in 1 week time. In just 1 click, kaya kitang maturuan. Attitude, papuputol ko ang daliri ko pa may nagsabi sa akin na kaya mong baguhin ang attitude ng isang tao. Right away, kasama mo na nga ng 20 years, hindi mo pa mabago-bago ang attitude. Diba? Yung pa kaya na hindi mo kakilala. Diba? So, go for attitude. That's take the piece of advice. And then, last but not the least, is operate your business like a pro. So to successfully grow your business, you need to make sure that you have a flexible management structure that allows your business to respond quickly to client demands. So create a system in place for the different moving part of your business then. Okay? So dapat po, hindi ka rin lang nakastick na parang eto. Para kang, ano yun yung kabayo na may, ano yung tawag dun sa ganun ng kabayo? I don't know kung anong tawag dun. Whatever that is. Na parang narrow-minded, ito ka lang, ito lang yung nakikita mo. You need to be flexible. And that's why you need to have a system and then you need to have a team. Para you can step back and then look at the bigger picture. Makikita mo kasi, iba kasi when you see the overview. Iba kasi pagkita mo yung from afar, nakikita mo yung business from afar. Kasi that's when you would see kung ano yung kailangan mo sa business mo, right? And that's when, where you will see kung ano yung, what's lacking? Ano yung mga loopholes na kailangan mong i-fix when you're afar, right? Then, yung kita mo siya na parang microscopic na nakitang-kita mo talaga yung mga, ano. So, that's micromanaging na yung parang talagang, ito, gawin nyo to. Give your team a chance to grow for them to be creative and for them to go outside the box. All right? Because if they would grow, definitely you would grow then. So, yon, hi! We're done for the day. Thank you very much for listening po. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Definitely nag-go over the time ako and I thank you for sticking with me until the last minute. Now it's the time. If you have like any question that you wanted to ask me, then feel free to ask me questions po. Ma'am Vic, you are you currently in Naga City po?
Yes po. Although ngayon nasa Legazpi ako, may planning ako pero nag-excuse muna ako ng 1 hour.
That's nice.
Nasa Naga po ako, ang residence ko is Naga. And then I will go to Pasag minsan pag sa summer, minsan sa beach. Ganyan. May beach po ba kayo? Anong beach nyo doon?
Ano po, ano tawag dito? Actually, yung sa Pasakaw, kasi ba pandemic nga, nakabili lang kami doon ng property, ng beach property. Tapos, ano tawag mo dito? Wala pang beach sa ngayon. Pero sinisimulan na namin yung residential namin doon. Kasi ang plano namin ngayon is 6 months kami doon. So, March to October, nandun kami sa Pasakaw. And then October to February or March dito naman. So we just spend like the Christmas season dito sa Laguna. So yun, it's good to know na ano pala nandyan. Pero wala po kami talagang kamag-anak sa Pasakaw. Napadpad lang po talaga kami dyan. Nabentahan lang kami. Tapos na-stuck kami dyan sa nung pandemic time. So doon, na-stuck kami doon sa Pasakaw. Nagtatrabaho ako sa gitna ng dagat. Kasi walang signal talaga doon. Yan. Kaya tatao na din po ako mag-Bicol, dikit-dikit lang.
Okay naman.
Dikit lang po, dikit
Marayman.
lang.
Sige po, sana.
Dahil na ako mapapabakal.
Magigdi ka sa Bicol. Timrihan mo ako. Let's meet.
Iyo po. Sige po, salamatan po. Ayan. Any question po?
Okay po.
May question po ba kayo? Or gusto niyang mag-goodbye kasi masyado nang mahaba yung training?
Ongoing po. Mag-start na po ako mag-document. Mag-start na ako mag-document and mag-work. Yun din ang sabi ng training document. And tutulungan daw naman niya ako. And okay naman ang attitude niya po.
Okay
Okay
nice.
naman.
That's great.
Actually, na-identify ko na sa kanya yung core clients ko. Okay na.
That's good pala. That's nice.
Thank you so much, Miss Alice, sa learnings ngayon talaga.
Thank you din
Super
po.
thankful talaga.
Okay, Fritz, may question pa po ba? Karen, Sheena? Mami mo, Maro, nakikimami ako.
Yan. Hanggat wala pa, o baka clear naman ang pagkaka-share niyo pa. Sige, can we have picture po with you, Miss Tish?
Oh.
For their
Okay.
attendance din.
Ang gulo ng background. Pasensya na yung mga nakasabit sa paligid.
Yan. Miss Annalyn, nakapag-open po kayo ng cam? Wait po namin kayo or ano po? Sige. Ayan, we have page 1 lang and 1, 2, 3, smile. Yun. Ayan, baka may question daw po or grabe yung 2 hours, no? Siyempre, grabe po, sobrang nagpapasalamat po ang TBSA sa pagpa-unlock niyo siyempre sa, alam niyo yan yun, to share your expertise, your knowledge, experiences, skills, lahat na sa loob ng 2 hours. Ibilang na natin yung technical difficulties kasama po yun.
Hindi ka. Kasi ginagamit.
Sulit yung bayad natin.
Ginagamit ko.
Thank you so much.
Na-try ko kasi
Pati sa mga
kanina.
classmates ko dito. Miss Rich.
Big classmate talaga tayo.
Salamat, Miss Ali. Thank you so much. Ang dami ko pa pong kulang. Ang dami ko pa kulang process at documentation. Actually, nag-i-start talaga kami sa ganun. Kasi nung nag-expand yung business, yun dun kami nagka-problema. Sabi ko, dumami yung client, tapos hindi ko naman mahati-hati yung sarili ko kasi alam ko nasa utak ko na yung paano gagawin, kung paano siya i-execute. So, nahirapan ako at the same time nagtuturo, at the same time nagpo-fulfill. Kaya yung iba, nakalagpas yung ibang mga kliyente kasi hindi na kayang i-handle nung time. That's good thing din po yung talaga, yung booster kasi ito yung mga loopholes ng business. Pag hindi mo talaga siya naumpisahan na i-document lahat. Tsaka yung sa akin kasi ngayon, currently, ang dami ko, I have Notions, I have Google Docs, I have, kalat-kalat pa siya, I have Asana. So, kalat-kalat ko pa yung information. Pero ngayon, medyo alam ko na kung saan ako mag-i-start. Pero thank you so much po, Miss Ali.
And don't forget, Karen, especially now you mentioned, yung first part ng framework, I think that's what you wanted to focus on is the clarity part. Kasi sabi mo nga, di ba, kalat-kalat. And dahil with all this information that was shared with you guys, parang it's too overwhelming. So di ba sabi ko nga kanina, if it's too overwhelming, stop. kalma muna. Kalmate. Kaya hindi ka pa mamatay. Kalma ka lang. Okay? Tapos kapag kalmado ka na, yan, saka ka na mag-start na mag-declutter. Anuin mo na, okay, ano ba itong mga to? Tapos ako talaga, it would help a lot if you write it down. Write it down. Kasi, gano'n ka ba katalino? Talagang andyan na sa lahat sa utak mo, hindi mo malilimutan. Lista mo. Kasi pag nilista mo, doon mo maaalala, okay, alin ba yung nakalimutan ko? Yan. Then you start to declutter na. One step at a time, isa-isa. Hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay yan. Hindi kasi superwoman. Kaya na Superman, hindi naman kayang sabay-sabay eh. 'Di ba? So, yun. Clarity, strategy, systems, growth. Yan ang framework ko. Clarity, strategy, systems, tapos growth. Yan.
Thank you.
Thank
Alright.
you.
Dami namin natin.
Dami nating wins ngayon.
Thank you, Miss Ali.
Thank you din
Sa pag-spend
po.
ng time niya, syempre.
Oo,
At sa
sorry
mga
talaga.
students na nag-stick din,
Oo nga, natuwa naman ako. Wala namang umalis. Wala namang umalis.
Interesting, inspiring naman kasi po talaga yung topic.
Correct.
Plus, ang ganda pa ng ating speaker.
Nga batang-bata.
Oo, nararamdaman ko na po ang sign of aging.
Karoon tuloy ako ng anak na maganda.
Ay, yes, mami. Add niyo po ako sa Facebook. Tish Pasag sa
Sige, namin
Facebook.
Baka
Ay,
may mga
pasabi-
tanong.
Pasabi pala, when you add
Facebook mo? Ali rin?
Tish Pasag po, Tish Pasag.
Sige po.
Yan.
So, kung may mga
Paki-message niyo po ako.
Pwede po kami mag-refer sa iyo kung may mga still ano pa diyan, buhol-buhol pa. Pwede po kami mag-reach out po sa iyo.
Yes, I can answer questions naman po if you have any questions. Basta quick questions lang. If you have like mga quick questions, no problem. You can reach out to me lang po kasi meron na rin tayong mga clients din. So may full-time client na ako ulit din eh. So kaya medyo busy-busyness na ulit. Pero yeah, feel free to send me a message. As soon as I have time naman po, I could definitely respond. Tapos when you add me, kindly send me a message and inform me that you are from TBSA para ma-accept ko po kayo.
Thank
Alright?
you.
Thank you po.
Okay. Alright.
Ate Shine.
Bye-bye.